That's much better. Hope you guys are doing good. I have a great video for you guys today. This is my guide on how to buy an over-the-counter hearing aid and what to look for in an over-the-counter hearing aid. So let me start out by saying searching for an over-the-counter hearing aid can be a very daunting endeavor. The availability of over-the-counter hearing aids is still very new and still in its infancy. They have only been available for about a year now. And you wouldn't think so because it's still so brand new, but there are so many options and so many products out there. And this makes it very difficult to choose the right one for you. But that's okay. That's where I come in. My goal is to educate you guys and help you understand what features you need and what you should be looking for. To help you with your over-the-counter hearing aid buying journey, I've come up with a system that will help you identify the features you want to look for in an OTC hearing aid and whether or not you are overpaying for your hearing aid. Now, I've been trying to figure out a good way to review these over-the-counter hearing aids and really just come up with a streamlined way to explain all this without jumping from one place to another and just kind of rambling on about things that are not important, as some of you guys have accused me of doing. But that's okay. So I just kind of started brainstorming, well, what features are the most important? Wax filters, that's a big one. Something programmable based on your hearing loss and your unique hearing test. Maybe an app for all you tech-savvy people like myself. A good warranty and a good trial period. And then, bam, it finally hit me. These are all features found in a prescription hearing aid. And that's when I came up with this. When shopping for over-the-counter or OTC hearing aids, you want to find a hearing aid that's going to have all the features that you need and also a price point that's not going to break the bank. I mean, let's face it. If price wasn't an issue and price wasn't a concern, you wouldn't be buying an over-the-counter hearing aid. You'd be spending your hard-earned money on a real prescription hearing aid. And something to understand is all of your prescription hearing aids are pretty much going to have the same features with some slight differences here and there. They all have apps, but one app maybe has an equalizer, but this app doesn't, but it has other things and, et cetera, et cetera. But they're all pretty much the same. They all pretty much have the same thing. As long as you stick with, one of the 5 main manufacturers, GN, Starkey, DeMont, WS Audiology, Sonova. They're all going to be programmable, of course, based on your hearing loss. They're going to have programs. They're going to have Bluetooth, a 1-year or more warranty, 30-day to 6-month trial period, etc. The list goes on. This, folks, is what you want to find in an OTC hearing aid. As many prescription features, but still at a reasonable cost. Still affordable. Let's take a really nice brand of over-the-counter hearing aid like these hearing aids pretty much have all the same features as a prescription hearing aid, but they're over $2,000. I'm not saying that they're bad hearing aids. I'm not trying to blast them on YouTube. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy these. What I am saying is for less money, you can get a genuine, bona fide, premium technology level, tried and true prescription hearing aid for $1,500 to $1,600. And I don't think I need to tell you where to find one of those. But since there's 3 different options, 3 different prescription hearing aids at the premium technology level for $1,500 to $1,600, I personally, just me folks, personally, I wouldn't spend more than $800 or $900, maybe $1,000 on an over-the-counter hearing aid. My way of thinking is you might as well pay that extra $500 or $600 and get yourself one of the best prescription hearing aids out there on the market. For $500 or $600, you're going to get a guaranteed good premium technology level hearing aid with the support, with the 3-year warranty, a 6-month trial period. I mean, the list goes on. So I would definitely try not to go any higher than $800 or $900 for an OTC. And I think even that's pushing it a little bit. So if you're shopping around for an OTC hearing aid, just always keep that in mind. Now, since I will be reviewing a lot of over-the-counter hearing aids, I currently have 4 that I'm working on right now. I've come up with what I call the prescription feature chart. So basically what this is a list sorted by priority, the most important features on the top of all the prescription hearing aid exclusive features. These are features that you're definitely going to find in a prescription hearing aid, and maybe find some of these in an over-the-counter hearing aid. Each one of these features is worth 1 point. There's 7 total. And then I also have a bonus category that we'll talk about here in a second. So at the very top of the list is programmable to your audiogram. This is something that is going to be found in all prescription hearing aids, but you're only going to find this in the more expensive or more higher quality advanced over-the-counter hearing aids. And then next on the list is wax guards. Not all over-the-counter hearing aids have replaceable wax guards. They should, but not all of them do. But again, this is something that is going to be found in every prescription hearing aid. I think this is very important. I would say stay away from hearing aids that don't have replaceable wax guards, but you don't have to. You can just be absolutely vigilant and make sure you clean out that wax every single day. And if you're okay with doing that, then go for it. But this is something that hopefully in the future we will see in every over-the-counter hearing aid. And then third on the list is the warranty and trial period. So I'm just going to take Costco hearing aids, for example. They have a 3-year warranty and a 6-month trial period. And I'll tell you what, I recently got contacted by a hearing aid company, an OTC hearing aid, and it has a 1-year trial period. They will legit let you keep this hearing aid for a year and still be able to return it if you're not satisfied. I think that is amazing. But this is definitely an outlier. You're not going to see this in a lot of the over-the-counter hearing aids. It's got a better trial period than the Costco hearing aids. This one's also worth 1 point. They're all worth 1 point. As long as it has at least a 1-year warranty and a 30-day trial period, I'll give it a point. And then fourth on the list is durability. What is the IP rating? In all of your prescription hearing aids that I've come across anyway, they all have an IP68 rating, which is extremely good. So if the over-the-counter hearing aid, when looking at this chart, if it has a IP68 rating, then it's going to get a full point. But if it has, like, let's take the Jabra over-the-counter hearing aid, the Enhanced Plus, it has an IP rating of 53. Not the best, but still pretty decent. I'd give that half a point. But if it has an IP rating of, let's say, 22, then 0 points. That's not a very durable hearing aid at all. You have to be very careful with it. And then the fifth one on the list of features is going to be Bluetooth and hands-free. So if the hearing aid has Bluetooth and hands-free, I'm going to give it 1 full point. If it only has Bluetooth but no hands-free, I'll give it a half a point. If there's no Bluetooth at all, 0 points. And then 6 on the list is an app. Does it have an app? If it has an app, 1 point. If it doesn't have an app, 0 points, obviously. And then the last thing on the list is programs. All prescription hearing aids have programs, but not all over-the-counter hearing aids have different programs. So if it has programs, it's going to get 1 point. There's really no reason to have half a point here. The last one is a bonus category. Does the hearing aid have the option of rechargeable and replaceable batteries? Just like most of your prescription hearing aids, like the Jabra or the Philips, you can get the rechargeable version, or you can get the normal hearing aid that just takes regular 312 batteries. You have options with prescriptions. You don't have to buy a rechargeable hearing aid. And some people may not want a rechargeable hearing aid because they need 24/7 uptime. If that battery dies, they can instantly pop a new battery in there and have another 5-6 days. With a rechargeable hearing aid, there's going to be some downtime. Some people can't afford that downtime. I've had several patients that take care of their loved ones, and in the middle of the night, if their loved one gets up and needs help with something, that hearing aid user needs to be able to hear them. So some of my patients actually go to bed with at least one hearing aid in, and you can't do that with a rechargeable hearing aid. You are going to have to put that thing on the charger unless you have 2 pairs, and you're going to have downtime. So I think it is an amazing prescription hearing aid feature or option to be able to choose between rechargeable or batteries. And the other thing about this category is, even if you don't need 24/7 uptime, there's some folks that still don't want to go or mess around with a rechargeable battery because these internal batteries are not going to last forever, just like your cell phone. Eventually, the capacity will start getting lower and lower and lower, until you have a hearing aid that's lasting 6 or 7 hours. It's not going to get you through a full day. With prescription hearing aids, it's usually not that big of an issue because there's a warranty. At Costco, if you have a rechargeable hearing aid and 2 years down the road, it's not lasting all day like it was, we just send it out and we get you a replacement. I have not seen an over-the-counter hearing aid yet that has 2 different options. Same hearing aid, but rechargeable or batteries. So if I find one, then it's going to have that additional point. Those are all the features in this chart that I've come up with. The higher the score, the closer it is to a prescription hearing aid. And in my opinion, that's going to make it a better or more advanced hearing aid. Now, let's take the Jabra over-the-counter Enhance Plus that I did a review on. Let's use that as an example with this chart. So, first category, is it programmable? Yes. It has you do a hearing test on the phone, and then the hearing aid is then adjusted and programmed based off of that somewhat simple hearing test, but a hearing test nonetheless. It is programmable, so it gets 1 point in that category. Does it have wax guards? No. If it did, it would be the ultimate over-the-counter hearing aid, but for whatever reason, they did not give you replaceable wax filters, so that gets 0. And then the warranty. The Jabra OTC comes with a 1-year warranty, so that's better than a 6-month, I guess. And it also comes with a 45-day trial period instead of just 30 days. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one 1 point, a full point. And then durability. What is the IP rating of this Jabra Enhance Plus? It's got an IP rating of 53. So pretty decent. It's weatherproof. It can get a little bit wet, but there's better, more durable hearing aids out there, but it still has better than a 22, which I've seen in other over-the-counter hearing aids. So I'm going to give that one a half a point as well. And then Bluetooth and hands-free. The Jabra actually has both Bluetooth and hands-free. So I'm going to give it a point for that. And then the next one is the app. Does the Jabra OTC have an app? It sure does. So it gets a point for that. And then programs. It does have program, so it gets a point for that as well. And then unfortunately, it doesn't have the option of rechargeable or replaceable batteries, so it doesn't get the bonus category. And that gives us a grand total of 5.5 out of 7, which is a really good score. However, price has to be taken into consideration. And this hearing aid is an expensive over-the-counter hearing aid at $800. It's getting really close to my personal limit, my budget for an over-the-counter hearing aid. So you're paying for all these extra points. There's a lot of over-the-counter hearing aids out there that will only score 1 or 2 on this thing, but you're only paying $200 or $300. So that is the list. That is how I'm going to start rating these hearing aids, and this is what I'm going to start using in my reviews. Of course, I'm going to talk about other stuff as well, but I wanted to share this with you guys so you at least have some kind of reference for measuring, how advanced of a hearing aid is this? Am I overpaying? You don't want to pay $700 or $800 for an over-the-counter hearing aid if it's only scoring 1 or 2, if it only has a couple of these features. So if you're out there shopping for an OTC hearing aid, always keep that in mind. If you see a really nice looking hearing aid that's got all these features and it's $1,100 or $1,200, remember, you can go get yourself a nicer hearing aid for shelling out an additional, $300 or $400. And if you do find a hearing aid for, let's say, $800, then it better have at least 5 or 6 of these features. If not, I personally think you're overpaying a bit. But also on the flip side, if you can find a $300 or $400 over-the-counter hearing aid and it has 5 or 6 of these features, then snag it. That is going to be a pretty good, pretty advanced hearing aid for a really, really fair price. And I want you to leave a comment on this video and tell me the name of that hearing aid so I can go check it out and possibly see if I can get my hands on it and do a review. Now, one more really important note I want to talk about is I'm not saying don't buy a hearing aid that only scores a couple points in this chart. You personally may not need an app. You may not need Bluetooth. You may not need hands-free or something super advanced. And that's totally fine. Just make sure that it has the features that you do need. But more importantly, make sure you're not overpaying for it. And you can use this chart to help you out with that. If you find a hearing aid that works for you that only has a couple of these features, make sure you're not paying $700 or $800 for it, because I think you're overpaying, because you can find better hearing aids out there for the same price. I'm going to continue working on this system. I want you guys to leave feedback and let me know if you like this idea and would like to see this in future videos when I do reviews. And another thing that I've kind of come up with, and this might be an oversimplification, I'm still kind of playing around with this idea. Each point, each feature that's on this list is worth about $100 to $125. So if you find an OTC hearing aid and it has, it scores a 6 out of a 7, like $700 or $800 would be a pretty fair price based off of what I've seen so far and what I've reviewed so far. But I guarantee you there's going to be hearing aids out there with a lot of points like that for way less money. Those are the ones you want to look out for. Those are the ones you want to try out. The more hearing aids I review, the more information, the more data I'll have, and I'll be able to update this if needed. And if you're new to over-the-counter hearing aids and you don't really understand what these different features are that I'm talking about, like the programmable to your hearing loss, etc., go check out the Go Prime hearing aid review and check out the Jabra Enhanced Plus over-the-counter hearing aid review. And those I really break down and explain all these different features, how they work. And again, if you're new, you can get a lot of good insight and a lot of information and education on OTC hearing aids. And so far, the best 2 places that I've shopped around for OTC hearing aids are Amazon and Best Buy. They both have really good return policies. They make it easy to return. I bought 2 hearing aids online from bestbuy.com. I did my review. They came in really quick. And then I just took the physical hearing aids when I was done, walked right into the store and returned it. It took me about 5 minutes. So these are both good places with lots of reviews available. So make sure you are reading reviews. And any hearing aid that I do a review on, if I think they're a decent hearing aid, then they will be in my description as a link. You can just click on the link and get it right there. So that is my buying guide for over-the-counter hearing aids. I hope you guys find it useful. Like I said, let me know, leave comments, give me some feedback, and let me know if you guys find it useful. Bottom line, make sure you do your research. If you guys are having a hard time deciding, well, should it get this point, should it not get this point, let me know. Just give me the name, I'll look it up, and I'll tell you guys what I think. Thank you for watching. You guys have a great day, and let's get hearing. Bye, guys.